Welcome to Unlimited Power. My name is D-Rod, and today we're just going to continue with our training of Iden Versio. I just did a 1K here in the Portland area. You can see a video about that and some of my experiences. A video I got posted this week called Tales of the Portland 1K. As we just go through like what Iden faced, what I experienced, how the event went, and then we do 2 commentary games on the top 8, which was super fun. This morning, we're going to do something a little bit different. So in over the weekend, there were a lot of events, and it was May 4th weekend, so we had 1Ks, I saw 2K, I saw 4K, all across the country. I, of course, played Iden Green with the deck we've been building around for a bit. Very control heavy, a lot of vigilance. Max already asking what 5K am I preparing for? It's the Washington State 5K. So there's one at a big con here called Summer Con that they're doing at the end of June. And that's the one I'm prepping for right now, last weekend of June. And watching a lot of the decks there at the event at the 1K in Portland this past weekend was great. And there was an Iden Green deck that did make top 8 and went all the way to top 4, and it was beaten by the winner of who was running a Han Blue deck, which was awesome. But so that was cool. I didn't make it. I needed a couple of things, but just to get there, that's all right. Took 18th out of 40. That's all right. But I loved when I finished the event, and it was a great event. Again, there's a video about that. Max wishing me good luck. I appreciate that, Max. Appreciate your streams. Appreciate you hopping in. Am I going to Gen Con? That's kind of my next plan. I think I'm going to try to make that work. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a Gen Con, but they're always great. But one of the decks I saw that I want to try for fun this morning is Iden Blue. So Iden Blue, if you're unfamiliar with it, we can go ahead and pull this up right now. Ding. So this is an Iden Blue deck from the Richmond 4K this past weekend. I tried to find this deck in SWDB. Unfortunately, it wasn't there, so we're just going to be showing the picture here. But this deck plays really similar to my current Iden Green build. It's using a lot of the same events, obviously, with it. Max, I know, right? If I'm there, we'll meet up. We'll do something fun for sure. But I love this type of Iden deck because it does what I really want to do a lot of the time with my type of control style. I really want to remove units. I want to keep the board clear as possible. I want to stay alive, and I want to play Vigilance. The best thing from the weekend was just wearing a custom shirt that said Vigilance, 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 restock. And I love playing Vigilance. So I want to try this deck out just for fun this morning for a little bit, and then we'll run over to Iden Green with doing some testing. But I just want to get that feeling of, playing Vigilance for 4. It's just amazing. Now, this deck does run yellow, and that means it has no yellow, so especially because it runs Spark of Rebellion, where you can look at someone's hand and discard a card from it. That's going to cost me 5, I believe. 5 or 6. Either way, it's going to cost me too much. 2, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, it's going to cost me 6. So 6 to play it. Not a problem. I saw one deck posted the same, or one video posted the same deck, but actually changed the base. You don't want to change the base. If you change the base to yellow, you're just playing Vigilance for 6, and at that point, like, the trade-off just isn't there. Like, you can say paying Spark of Rebellion for 6 just seems too much, but paying Vigilance for 4 just outweighs that, in my opinion. Like, I would rather heal and mill for 4 or kill somebody for 4 than do it for 6. There's a lot of times playing Iden control that you just wish you can Vigilance earlier, especially against the aggro builds. Playing against Sabine yellows, Sabine reds, Sabine greens, you just want to be able to survive, because if you're not getting the right stuff early on, you're really hoping for Vigilance just to put you back in the game. So we're going to try this deck. I'm going to have some fun for it for sure. Let's see. I'm going to mispronounce this. Akron or Archon, Lord of the Rings, Lotor. Did you go against any Sabines? And if so, how did it perform? Oh, man. So Iden Green, I went with my typical Iden Green deck, which we'll be playing here in a bit. after a couple matches with this deck. I did play against Sabine Red and Sabine Green. Those are actually my only losses. The way I'm figuring it out is most of the time I probably have a 40 to 40% chance of actually beating a Sabine. I need to have the right card most of the time to trade their units and have the removal to get past it. As long as I can stay under 15 by the time we get to like turn 5, I can stabilize. But it was tough. It was tough. Sabine Red just rocked me. Sabine Green, not so much. Sabine Red, though, I didn't stand a chance. Sabine Green, I could push it. I could at least make them work for it, but I couldn't make the Sabine Red player. Like they just went through me. It was the quickest game I had all day, and there's a reason why they went to the finals. And if you're interested in seeing how that goes, again, I just put out a video of that of some of the top 8s stuff with commentary from the Portland 1K. Yeah, you know, I'm surprised they go for that 2 restock as well, Max, that they're running 2 restock in this list. I think one of the reasons why we see something like that, even Spark of Rebellion, it feels like this deck is really built for the control matchup early on. Like, when you're looking at stuff like Dooku, Make an Opening, even Devotion, like, you look at that sideboard and you're like, okay, yeah, like, why don't you just main board Dooku? But, you know, you're probably only going to throw Dooku in there against, like, the Sabine decks for those low-cost units or Boba Fett units, stuff like that. Same thing with Make an Opening. So I think the player went really focused on the control mid-range matchups. And again, I think this plays similar to what I'm already doing, so I just want to give it a little bit of a try. I don't know if this is a switch I will make as I continue to prep for the 5K, but I don't think it's a great switch. I think it's a very much of a lateral deck move if we end up making this many changes, because really for me when I'm looking at it, it's 2 additional blue cards that I'm not really running regularly, which is the Lieutenant and Death Trooper, which are interchangeable, and yeah, and you know, the other thing is I'm losing my ramp with Iden Green. Iden Green, especially for those mid-range control matchups, getting Relentless out early just helps me out so much. But if this has a better, you know, this obviously has other ways of dealing with that control matchup, so I want to just see what's there. So, ooh, thoughts on I Am Your Father against Maximum Firepower? I like I Am Your Father because I really enjoy putting people a little bit on tilt, Max. That's a great question. I'm a big fan of cards like in the Magic the Gathering game, Fact or Fiction. They did this in Destiny 2, where you play a card and you make your opponent make choices, right? In Destiny, I can't remember the name of the card, but you would tell them, like, you put all the dice out, you put the dice into 2 piles. The player, I'm on work mode, the player chooses which dice they keep out and which dice leave. In Magic, it's Fact or Fiction. You look at the top 5 cards and you put them into 2 piles. The player chooses which cards leave play and which cards go to their hand. I like cards that make your opponent make decisions because it throws them out of their tunnel vision that they're thinking about, like what is their next play. It also makes them think the idea of like what's, you know, they have it go through their head, right? Because you probably have this same thing, we all do, of what's the option they don't want me to pick? Do they really not want me to have this leader out, or do they really want cards? Either way, it gets into the opponent's head a bit, and I'm a big fan of stuff like that to just throw them off their game. So that's my opinion about I Am Your Father. I think the damage is fine. I like the theme of it. It works for some things, but it doesn't mean you're getting the guaranteed kill, so it's not something you can count on, but it can really disrupt your player's game plan. So that's my opinion about it. Firepower, I do like that you don't really need 2 Imperial units to make it work. But definitely in a deck like this where I'm not looking for the damage because the shields aren't really a big deal for me. I mean, they're a big deal, but when you're running Vanquish, Takedown, Power of the Dark Side, and I'm Your Father, you know, you're just gonna eat the unit anyway. So that's kind of my opinion there. But we got Blair waiting for us. He's going to be doing some training with us today. Let's go ahead and hop in there and bring that up. Boom. And it looks like Blair is rocking Churret Red. which will be great here. Line that up a little bit. All right, and for some reason, let's get that chat going. Boom. Get that displayed. That off on accident. No one was seeing any of your guys' great questions. Well, not anymore. That's on. All right, Blair, let's go ahead and roll to see who goes first. I'm going to grab my initiative counter here. I got a 7. I guess I'll be on the play here. Do a quick cut. All right, and Chert Red, it gives me some issues, honestly. Chert Red was probably the one deck I wasn't prepared for at the Portland 1K. Great pilot, had a lot of fun playing against it. But yeah, that was the deck that, you know, all right, he's going to mulligan. I mean, I definitely, Sabine Red was tough, but I knew how to play against everything except for this blue, white, red builds. That's where I think I need to spend a little bit more time figuring out what are the quicker lines of play. How can I, you know, what's important to take out? Because I thought I had some of the answers, but one of the things I did was I remember entrenching a Fleet Lieutenant, and I thought I'd be safe. Fleet Lieutenant had a lightsaber on it. Well, they end up playing the Fang Fighter. Fang Fighter removes the entrenched, swings, hits me for a lot, and just, you know, wrecks me from there because I just thought I had everything under control. So there's a lot of stuff like that. So in my hand, I have Lieutenant Childson, Vanquish, Death Trooper, Search Your Feelings, Super Laser Blast, and Takedown. I have nothing I can play on turn 1. I'm going to mulligan. Because what I'm looking here for is Viper Probe Droid I would want to see, or Inferno 4, something to kind of keep me going. Again, this is my first time playing this deck, definitely my first time playing Double Blue Iden, but I've played enough Blue, I've played enough Iden, and you know, there's only so many cards in set 1, so I think I'm pretty okay in how to play this. Spark of Rebellion, obviously, we can't play till we hit 6 resources, but that's a good time to play that kind of card because your opponent probably has less in their hand, and whatever's in their hand is something that they're holding on to or could be pivotal in changing the game state in their favor. So no problem using that against them, right? Take care of that kind of stuff. Quick shuffle, quick cut. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we got Avenger, Vanquish, Vigilance, and Lieutenant Childson and the Probe Droid. So we're gonna go ahead and drop. Do I drop 2 Avengers? That seems crazy. I'm gonna drop 2 Avengers because I'm crazy, and also because they're 9 to get out, and I'm not ramping. I love ramp. I mean, who doesn't love ramping here? All right. Let's put this resources in display a bit. Probably can do that a little bit easier if I do this. There we go. All right, let's get it started. Viper Probe Droid. Let's see that hand. Let's see what you got. Kanan Jarrus, Jedi Lightsaber, and Vanquish. Okay. All right. Looks good. I mean, looks bad, but you don't have a unit, so I'll be okay. That 2 Jedi Lightsabers and Kanan. That's the problem. All right. He's going to take the initiative there. I'll pass. And we're going to draw 2 cards. We got Super Laser Blast, Cargo Juggernaut, Vigilance, Vanquish, and Lieutenant in our hand. Lieutenant's going to be important. He's definitely going to die to that Kanan, though. Let's drop the Blast. We're at 3 resources. It's very interesting not holding on to certain cards because we don't have that ramp. So I'm not going to hold on to something that I'm not going to be able to play for 5 turns. Let's play for the turn we're currently in. All right, Sabine Wren's in play. I could just kill her. Swing into Sabine. We'll trade. I have nothing I can play this turn. He's going to take the initiative. I'll pass. Draw 2 cards, restock, and vanquish. Ooh, well, there's the restock. I could drop it. We'll drop it. We have 2 in deck. Might as well see if that matters. Now, it's risky to play it against a blue player, I think, to drop a restock, because sometimes you'll want 2, because what you don't want to see is your blue player to vigilance your blue opponent to vigilance your other restock, and then you lose it, so you no longer have that option. So sometimes it can be safe to hold on to it. We're just going to be a little aggressive and drop it here. Okay. Restored Arc. We have answers for that. Let's go Lieutenant. So I'm going to put the Lieutenant out. I'm going to reveal a certain amount of blue cards to give him... up to 4 cards to give him experience tokens. So I'll just show you my hand here. So Vanquish, Vanquish, Cargo Juggernaut, and Vigilance. And then he gets +4. All good looking at these cards. So he now knows I'll be able to kill his unit pretty well. That Kanan's not going to stand much of a chance. Neither is Sabine. I'll take the initiative. All right, he's going to pass. Let's draw 2 more cards. Spark of Rebellion and Spark of Rebellion. You know what? When you got double Spark of Rebellions, why not? It does make it sense to just make it the, whatchamacallit. Make it a resource. Also not going to hurt me there. Okay, we can kill Sabine. We can kill Restored ARC. I think it's going to be something to that nature. Let's get started. A for 4, we're going to play Vigilance. And I'm going to go ahead and make you discard 6 cards off the top of your deck. And then I will go ahead and... Luke, Redemption, Restored ARC, K2SO, Obi-Wan. Oh, all the ones I want to see. And Force Throw. Force Throw tech, huh? Let's defeat Restored ARC with Vigilance. That reminder counter on Iden. So that was good. That was a good Vigilance for us. That really set us up. Paying for 4. So good. He's dead. He's dead, Jim. I'll take initiative. All right. In hindsight, should have swung with Lieutenant first. That's all right. It definitely wasn't expecting the Vanquish. I should be, though. I should expect the Vanquish. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I did. Did take initiative. All right. Hits me for 3 more. Takes me from 3 to 6. All right, let's draw 2. Viper Probe Droid. Takedown. We are at 6 resources. We can... Takedown's going to take care of Chirrut, no problem. I will drop... I'm going to drop Spark of Rebellion. That's both Spark Rebellions out, but we're at 6 resources. Let's get started. All right. I'll pay 4 for Takedown on Chirrut. Get that reminder counter on Iden. Base takes 3, takes me to 9. I'll heal 1 using Iden's ability, go down to 8. Right, he has 6 resources. He could Vigilance me now. So, or he could play Obi-Wan. Force Surrender. All right, you draw 2 cards, or I draw 2, or we both draw 2 cards. Got it. All right, so he gets to draw 2 cards off of Forced Surrender, and I have to discard 2 cards, which is dumb. Cargo Juggernaut and Viper Probe Droid. Discard a Cargo Juggernaut and Viper Probe Droid. Let's go ahead and deploy Iden. Ooh, that Forced Surrender. Dang. I'll swing on Sabine. Remove my shield. And I'll heal 1 when she dies. Go back down to 7. And then I'll take initiative. Good recovery there. Sometimes when I'm playing heroes, I forget the options they have in blue. There's a lot of times I think some cards are like, that's traditionally like blue villain, and that's not always the case. We're at 6 resources. I'm debating if I want to hold. We're about to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we'll just go ahead and do it. Let's drop a Death Trooper. So we're at 7. We're at 8. Actually, we're gonna drop a Vanquish instead. That allows me to play a Search Your Feelings, which I just drew this turn, and a Death Trooper. So that'll be better. All right, I'm ready. -3 on Iden. Dang. Gotta love Luke Skywalker coming out. Somewhere there's a -3 counter. Oh, there, that's close. That's -2. There's -1. Man, I gotta buy more counters and buy the same tokens. There we go. All right, -3, -3 there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's search my feelings. I'm going to search my deck for a card and put it in my hand. Right, there's the restock. What do I need? I couldn't get Power of the Dark Side and just take care of Luke right now. That would be fine. That would honestly would be fine. We're at 7. We're about to go to 8. Yep, I think I'm just going to grab the power. Okay, let's do that. He's going to take the initiative with his action, which is great. We'll at least take care of this. All right, I'll shuffle, cut, add certain feeling discard pile, and then I'm going to play Power of the Dark Side, which I was able to grab. Kill Luke, heal 1 off my base, and hit your base for 1 with that Iden. And then I'll pass. I'll lose these negative counters and draw 2 cards. All right, another Search Your Feelings and a Super Laser Blast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not sure how. Sometimes, like when I'm running solid colors, I don't know if it ever if it's good to do that on stream, because I think it's hard to count how many resources I actually have. So we now are about to be at 8. We have Iden Versio, we have Vanquish, we have Search Your Feelings, and Death Trooper. I guess I'll just put out the Death Trooper, and I will search my feelings for whatever I need. And I have 8. What I'm worried about now is more Luke Skywalker's redemptions, or really just like Obi-Wan Kenobi for that shield. 4 to K2SO, he got it. Swing for 4 on base with Iden. K2SO's out, that's always hard. See what he does now. Again, we got Search Your Feelings and Vanquish. We can only play one of these cards in our hand. Super Laser Blast, Vanquish, Search Your Feelings. Okay, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll pay 5 for Vanquish on K2SO. I have 2 cards in hand. If that, am I taking the 3? Okay. Is it my choice or random? All right, I'll discard Super Laser Blast. Iden's ability triggers, so I heal 1, go down to 5. Okay, I'll pass. Let's draw 2 cards. I'm your father and the final Vanquish. Seems good. We're going to stop here at 8. Avenger's the only card that we play at 9. There's only 1 Avenger left, and I think we'll be okay. We can play any of these cards. Well, we can play Vanquish and I'm your father, or Search Your Feelings and I'm your father, but we can't do both. So, we can't do all of them in orders. So, let's see what he does here. I think we have Chariot on the ropes. Take 2. I'll swing for 4 with Iden on your base. Get that damage in. 9 on Tarkentown. I think the other reason I'll like Capital City and just messing around with it is that 30 health. That's always fun. Okay, let's go. Let's see what he does. Let's pay 3. Pay 3 for I'm Your Father to deal 7 damage to the A-Wing, or I get to draw 3 cards if you say no. Alright. I'll heal 1 with Iden's ability. Sabine Wren. Let's go. I'll pay 4 for searching my feelings and search my deck for a card. Alright, Sabine Wren's in play. We're in a good spot. I'm just going to go ahead and draw a Vigilance. Put this in my hand and shuffle. Alright. Alright, I'll pass. Draw 2, Power of the Dark Side, and Lieutenant Cheldson. Ding, ding, ding. So we have, what, 8? Let's do this. Same. Does this work for my resource pile? I'm worried my basic colors are hard to pull up to show you how many I have. Takedown on Iden. Okay. Let's pay 4 for Vigilance then. I will mill you 6, and I will kill Sabine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe that wasn't the way I would like to do it. Tried it. Hated the tokens. Hated the tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a lot of cards out of that deck. Okay. More damage takes me to 10. It's a beefy wing leader. Let's pay 3 to kill it with Power of the Dark Side. Alright, I'll pass. Draw 2, Entrenched, Death Trooper. Not going to put any resources down. 2. 8 resources left. We got Entrenched, Lieutenant Childson, Vanquish, and Death Trooper. He's holding. I'm holding. He's taken 9 damage. I've taken 10. He's going to run out of cards, though. So, still plays a little slow. Plays a little slow like Iden Green. But that's what you can expect from mid-range control. Oh, I'm alright with Yoda there. I'm okay. We're going to save some stuff, though. Let's go... I'll pay 4 for Lieutenant Chilton. And I will go ahead and reveal 3 blue cards. 1, 2, 3. And give him 3 counters. Alright, we got the Sentinel. He knows I can kill Yoda. Woo! Forced throw. Alright, 2 damage on Chilton. Poor guy. I'll take initiative. Already has a... There it is. He kills Chilton with Tarkentown. Takes that out. And what does he have left? Perfect. Lightsaber is great on Yoda. We can kill Yoda with Vanquish. Not a problem. Avenger, there we go. Spark of Rebellion. Ooh, we can play some cards, but I think we're just going to play... I'll drop the Death Trooper because I want to play Spark of Rebellion, and we're just going to play Avenger and see what happens. We'll kill the unit. Chances are he will put out something crazy next after it, but we'll still have the Vanquish. Alright, I have 9 now, and 9 means Avenger, kill Yoda. The reminder token on Iden. Look at that! Look at that pile, though. It's running out of cards. Do you elect not to draw for Yoda? All right. Don't think he wants to draw for the Yoda. Let's go ahead and I'll use Iden's ability to heal from 10 down to 9. Alright, let's see what he makes. What's his decision going to be now? That Green Squadron A-Wing isn't crazy. Taking the initiative. Alright. I'll pass. Taking the initiative shows me that he is going to buff up that A-Wing. Really wants to get that hit in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's here, here, here. Hi, is this hard to play? As far as the game or the deck is my question. I find the game is super easy to play. If you're interested in that, there's a lot of great resources where you can play the game online, live. But yeah, no, I've really enjoyed this game a lot. I think the deck is pretty easy to play for control because it's just mostly blue, so you'll know kind of what you're hitting there. All right, I'll take 5. You're gonna put me at yeah, 14. So I'll just change that to a 10. There we go. Let's do it. Let's Spark Rebellion here. I'll play Spark Rebellion for 6 to just see your hand. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll just discard ooh. You had more stuff in your hand than I thought. Let's get rid of K2SO. Leaves me 3 resources left. See what he does here. Where can you play it? There's some great resources online. The first one I'd recommend you try is forcetable.net. Forcetable.net is a great way of learning the game. It's a good resource. You get to play against an AI. It's browser based, so you can just hop on there, and it already has 2 starter decks loaded up. And then there are ways of adding other decks into it. Yeah, that'd be a great way of checking out the game. Or just go to your local game store and see if they have like a small starter deck. All right, I'll swing with the Avenger for 8 on your base, making you sacrifice a unit. And then I will use Iden's ability as an action to remove 1 damage from my base. And I will go ahead and pass. Draw 2 cards, System Patrolcraft, and I'm your father. I'm going to keep everything. We don't need to put any more resources into play. We don't have anything higher than 9. And this is our last Avenger, because our other 2 Avengers are in the resource pile. He is dwindling down his cards. Carabas is also a great option to play, that's for sure. If that's another good one. Table, I think, is always a good one for learning. Carabas and other resources are great for playing people. Either way, a lot of great stuff, but nothing ever substitutes sometimes for that, like getting that community you're looking for. Not that you can't find a lot of that online, but it's always great to, if you have a group at a local store, like, go check it out. You may even get some free cards. Oh, Redemption's out. Okay, we got some answers here. I don't mind Redemption. Let's do something fun first. I'll play I'm Your Father on Redemption. So, Redemption, so 7 damage to Redemption, or I draw 3 cards. Alright. Redemption dies. Iden has a trigger. Yeah, deck just plays a little slow, but it's also against Chirrut Red, so it's going to feel that way. I take 3, you take me from 13 to 16. I'll use Iden's ability and heal down to 15. Alright, one of the things I like about mid-range control decks like this, like Iden, is once you get to like the later game, is you stabilized a lot, right? You held them off, and now it just feels like they don't have a lot of options. They're trying to take opportunities where they can, and I can just be like, oh, I'll just do this, I'll do that, and I'll have fun doing it. So, all right, swing for 8 on base. Right, then Avenger triggers to defeat a unit of your choice. I'll pay 6 for Cargo Juggernaut and heal 4 and go down to 11, and then I'll pass. Draw 2 cards, restock, there it is. Inferno 4, perfect. Not going to resource, I'm going to stay at 9. We got 2 blue units out. We have 12 damage on the board. Right now, Chirrut has to make some tough decisions. Let's see what they have. Okay. No resource on them. Now, again, we have Restock, System Patrolcraft, Vanquish, Inferno 4, and Entrench. The Inferno 4 is a great 2-drop unit because it's going to allow us to look at the top 2 cards and essentially decide if we want to keep them there or move them to the bottom or just change the order. So I think that's good. Vanquish, we can deal with anything too big that gets in our way, like another Redemption or a Obi-Wan. Yoda is Yoda. Not a big deal with Yoda. Swing into Yoda for 4.